I am so excited to talk to these ladies here. 3 buns, 2 ovens. Okay. When I first heard this name, I thought I was going to be talking to like a poly couple. But no, we've got you two and 3 babies happening at the same time. And so I want to hear all the things. Everyone wants to hear all the things. Talk to us about, like, in the beginning when you guys decided that you both wanted to try to get pregnant at the same time. And I'm sure it was it a goal to be pregnant at the same time, or like it might take a while, so let's just go for it?
The latter
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, first your names.
I'm Erin.
I'm Valencia. I'm the one with 2 buns.
Yeah. Just have 1 bun, thankfully.
Yeah. And it definitely wasn't, we definitely were not trying to both be pregnant at the same time and didn't think that it would happen.
Yeah. I mean, we knew it was a possibility. And I think we were kind of this mindset, like we were ready. We thought it might take a little longer just because we're both like 30, which in hindsight, it's like, that's not really a big deal, but just the way that society makes you feel like, oh, we're old, so
you have this against you, that against you, this against you.
So yeah, we were just like, we'd rather have 2 than none. So let's try, of course, which wasn't something we had imagined, but
yeah, the reason, so we realized that we were ovulating on the same weekend when we decided, like, oh, this is the time when the donor's ready to start. And we're like, this would make sense. Like, let's just do it, since it just seems like it's in the cards to attempt now. And we really thought we would be trying for like 3 months or something, or 4 months. And because Erin's a teacher, it also made sense that, like, if we get pregnant in these first 3 months of attempts, it'll be good for timing wise for her going on her break. So.
Yeah, it kind of lines up with summer, so I get like an extra long maternity leave, which is cool.
So there are a lot of like little reasons that we figured we would try.
Okay. And you did at-home insemination?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So did you use a known donor?
Or... Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And we had kind of talked to a couple different people, and he was local-ish. We're in the Bay Area. He's in Sacramento, so it was kind of like really convenient, actually.
Yeah, he's really close by. As far as like reasons why I went with a known donor versus doing it with an organization or with a cryobank, I think we just we felt really lucky that, like, we had this person that we knew that we really, really like appreciated his like personality and his energy. And like we have access to him whenever we need to ask questions, so it just felt like it would be the right route to go, both like emotionally and kind of like spiritually for us too, and then socially as well.
And financially, it was also.
And financially.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Why not save thousands of dollars?
Yeah, we bought 8 vials just because we wanted to make sure we had enough, and it's a lot. I mean, we did IVF, we did reciprocal IVF, and you guys saved a lot of money. So
yeah, we did.
My gosh. Okay, so you ovulated the same weekend. Mm-hmm. So we're both inseminated the same weekend.
Yeah.
Who found out first?
It was actually really close that we found out.
You found out first.
I found out first.
Well, kind of. We were still not sure because it was a super faint line, and so you tested.
I tested at night.
At night. And we're like, oh, well, it should be darker in the morning. We were like,
the line
doing
was
all
really
this
faint. I was like, I don't think this is real. Like, I think we need to wait till the line's darker. And then we later realized, like, any line counts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It means there's something there.
Exactly. But yeah, so the next morning
you tested again, and I was like, what the hell? I'll do it. I'll test too. Even though like I was 2 days kind of behind you. So then as we're looking at her strip, I'm looking at mine. I'm like, my line's like really dark.
And mine was a little bit darker than it was the night before. And we were like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
we thought that like we got a bad batch of tests. We were like, it can't be possible.
Which is really silly because we were using like 3 different types of pregnancy tests. Like, so we just did a bunch and we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Oh my, oh my goodness. So since you didn't go through a fertility clinic, then when did you go and confirm the pregnancy? Did you like, I don't know how it works unless you're at a clinic.
It was like 4 weeks later.
Yeah, so we called our doctors, and I think
we called them like the next day.
Yeah, they don't have you come in to do kind of that first ultrasound to like check for the heartbeat, I think until like 10 weeks or something.
Was it 10 weeks?
I think I was 8.
You were 8 weeks and I was 7 weeks that I went in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
no, you were after me.
Was I?
Well,
after?
I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't remember, I guess.
Yeah, so we had to wait a little while.
We had to wait for a while. It was a while before we found out.
Did you have blood drawn or anything though to like?
They didn't do a blood draw, which I had read that they would when we got to and I don't think they even had me like, I don't think they even did a urine test. They just like took my word for it and then went and did the ultrasound. And
oh, so crazy.
Yeah.
No, we were that's the perk you pay. I guess you pay for that. I had an ultrasound done 5 weeks to just bless you.
Oh, wow.
5 weeks, then bless you. 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Like every week you get to go and, I guess, hey, that, I'm paying $50,000. I might as well get as many damn ultrasounds as I want.
Unlimited.
So you're like, oh my gosh, we're both pregnant. Cool. Weeks and weeks and weeks go by and then surprise.
Yeah. So a few weeks went by. I guess right. You went to the hospital first and
then yours was a week later.
Baby, and then I was a week later. You're right. You're right about that. I remember now. And yeah, that's the funnier story. So you're at home teaching on Zoom and I go to my ultrasound and we're expecting it to be one baby. And I lie down, she's doing the ultrasound and she goes, you're having twins. And I was like, yeah, like we're having 2 babies, like
you're like, yeah, we're each having a baby. Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes, no, you're having twins. And I was like, what? And she shows me on the screen and there's 2 sacs and they're die. And I just was like, whoa. Came home an hour later and was like, baby. And I didn't have to say much else. And she was like, you're lying.
I could not believe it. I mean, it was intense news. I think my first thought was like, how are we going to do this? Like, what are we going to do? We're going to have to move into my parents' basement. Like, we definitely thought we can't live in the Bay Area.
Yeah, that was really our response. Immediately, we're like, I guess we're leaving the Bay Area. We can't afford to do this.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot. And we were feeling like, I don't know, like we weren't upset or sad, but we were just scared and worried for like 2 days. Before we were like really excited about it. We went through a phase of like, what's happening?
Yeah. I mean, I think anyone having twins has that reaction, let alone you're kind of having triplets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
we are.
Wow. So, okay. So what are your due dates?
The due date is exactly the same, May 5th, but since it's
you'll go earlier.
I'll go earlier. So yeah, but we have the same due date. So
that is nuts. That is really insane. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I have like all the questions. Okay. So you're going to go, obviously, God willing, we all go full term. You will go first. Are you going to have a C-section or do you want to try for a vaginal birth?
We both want to try vaginal. So far, my doctor thinks that I'll be able to.
Head down.
They're both head down. They've been head down for the whole time. But I mean, there's still a lot of time for them. We're at 28 weeks in 2 days.
Happy 3rd trimester.
But I mean, they still have a lot of time to flip
and
change plans and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm healthy enough. They're in good shape that they
amazing
vaginal. And awesome. I would really prefer that. Erin, you prefer that?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it just depends on what their status is. And
of course, right.
I'm okay doing cesarean if I have to, but I would rather avoid that for lots of reasons.
Totally. Yeah. No. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you're going to go in early. You're going to be 37 weeks pregnant yourself.
Yeah.
Then we're going to come home with 2 healthy babies. And then a few weeks later, we're going to have to go back in and have the other baby. Are you local to family?
Ish. I mean, your mom's in Southern California.
So my mom's in Southern California, 8 hours drive away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so no.
Yeah. And we have, so actually we can talk about our housemates.
Yeah. So we live kind of in a communal housing situation. So there's another couple who lives in our apartment with us. And they're definitely kind of like chosen family. They're really excited and like have just been super thoughtful and involved in the whole process. So
we actually moved in with a couple of months after finding out that we were having 3.
Yeah, we were supposed to move in anyways, and then we're having 3. Like, are you sure? Like,
right?
Stay here, and they were like,
no, definitely, like, let's get this program like moving faster. Let's move in earlier together, so you guys don't have to like be moving later when you're like super pregnant. So
that's so nice.
Yeah.
So okay, so you have.
So we have some support. We have these 2 here that we live with, and then we've got another close friend nearby. But
okay.
But in terms of, I feel like all of our people who are here who are supporting us are people who don't have kids yet. So we are really excited to kind of tap into the wisdom of our parents.
Yeah.
So they're planning to come out. I mean, I think with COVID, it makes it all like another layer of complication.
Yeah.
How they're going to quarantine, and then come up here, do the test the right way and all of that. But as far as preparing for like babies coming with 2 separate births, right now the nursery is being organized so that we can have a bed in there so that somebody can be in there with us.
Nice.
All of that. So we're preparing for that.
So your housemates will be able to watch the babies while Erin is going to have the baby.
Like, hopefully your mom will be here.
Yeah, and hopefully my mom will be here.
Because your mom's gonna start conceiving at what, like 34?
I think weeks? 34 weeks, yeah.
And then like
in case you go earlier or anything like that.
And then she'll get that call and be able to drive right up. So it'll be my housemates and my mom here in the house with the twins for the first few weeks. And I'll be able to be at her birth as long as I'm healed already from a C-section if I end up having one.
Right.
We'll hopefully have been able to pump enough breast milk to put in the freezer for that like 24-hour period of her being in labor. But that's also another complication too, right? Like me trying to like pump while she's in labor, right? There's a lot of stuff.
I mean, fortunately, the hospital has hospital grade pumps that you'll be able to use, that you'll be able to pump it much more quickly. And then, but in terms, so my problem, so I have a almost 10-month-old. So the beginning of all of this, I couldn't store the milk anywhere. So I could have used the communal refrigerator, and I was like, no, thank you. And I've always had an oversupply. So I was literally dumping milk out in the sink in my room because I was like, I don't have anywhere to put this. And like, I just, and the lactation consultants, and, they were bringing me ice packs and little bit, but like, for how long is that even going to last? And my daughter was jaundiced, so we had to stay a couple of extra nights. So that's one thing to think about if you have like a very intense freezer bag to be able to keep that milk frozen, because, or if somebody can come pick up the milk that you pump, because you might be there for 48 hours, 72 hours. I mean, who knows how long, hopefully it's a very fast and efficient labor and delivery, but, my first one was really long. So, hopefully, but that's like another set of all the things. So have you thought about, will you like joint nurse all the babies?
I think we want to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been something that we've been excited about.
Yeah.
And we talked to your doctor about that. So basically Erin's just gonna hold off, obviously for like the colostrum, until
For that baby. Right.
Baby A and B are here and C's and her.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save some of the special milk for baby C. And then after we like settle, we'll be probably rotating. Yeah.
It's so cool. It's really so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That was something that when we had thought, even before we got pregnant, we were thinking about both attempting. There was a tiny part of me that was like, well, I kind of hope we both get pregnant because I think it would be really cool to be able to each like have a relationship.
That's such a special bond. Yeah. You know, like my wife will bottle feed, you know, Josie at times, but it's different. It's, you know, it's like such an intimate, sweet, I love breastfeeding. Such an intimate, sweet, special bond that you have. And now you get to have that with all of them. Like, that's so cool. That's so, I mean, talk about like just feeling like you're all, not that you need DNA or breast milk or whatever, but to like really feel like that's that connection, that intimate connection.
That's real. I mean, it's going to be like the most connected that will be to each other's, the babies that each other are carrying, because like even just right now, like I get to feel them and I see them and I, you know, baby C, you know, when kicking and stuff, but I still feel like I understand these two really deeply, and I just am waiting to be able to like do that deep connection with, you know, with BBC that I'm not carrying.
Right. So magical. It's so magical. Oh my gosh. So after this, are y'all done? Or you don't know?
I mean, I imagine so.
You wanted 3. I come from a big family. I have 5 kids in my family. So I was like, we'll have a million babies, but I think probably we'll be done after this.
Or at least it'll be a little while. I mean, like, talk about, like, if you have 1 after this, you're going to be like, a joke. That's so easy. We're not going to try at the same time.
When we first realized we were pregnant with 3, we were like, we're done. Like, there's no conversating about this. And now as time has passed and things are okay, and you know, we're out of like the first trimester like drama and all of that, we're like, this isn't that horrible. And maybe in 4 years or something, one of us will she'll want to do this again.
You're like, my body's closed. No, that's what my wife, we did reciprocal IVF. So it was her eggs I carried. She was just like, you're good. You do, you do that, you know, like, and it doesn't matter how many, it's you do it. I had horrible pregnancies. So I'm guessing have it been like good, easy, sick?
Yours has been a breeze.
Which I think has been even harder for us both to be pregnant at the same time. And like, I really haven't had, I mean, the first trimester was like gross, right? Like I had lots of nausea, but not to the level that you did.
Yeah, so. I had HG.
No.
So, and I'm constantly reminded that I still do, and I slip up and like take my meds late now. And I'm like, I'll for 2 days because of it. But yeah, all the way till week like 18, 19, I was really not okay. I'm currently still 22 pounds underweight because of all of the weight loss that I had in the beginning.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really bonkers. So it's been a hard pregnancy for me, and I probably won't be trying to do this again.
You're like, that's good.
Which is like, you know, all of the emotional and like just magical stuff about it is really, really cool, but it's hard to forget how hard it is when you have like really, really bad symptoms.
Yeah. So I didn't have HG, but I was very, very sick with both, but with my daughter especially. I was on Zoloft Zofran. I take Zoloft too, but Zofran my entire pregnancy. Like, and what was the other one? Bongesta. Like I was on 2.
Oh, wow.
And I would try to stop at different periods of time and like not good. And at a point, my wife was like, stop, just keep taking it. And like, with my doctors and all that, but like, I do forget. I do and I don't. Like,
Okay.
now that my daughter's
that's good to hear, because I imagine that I never will.
right. No. I mean, now that my daughter's like 10, after she was born, like she's like, a couple weeks old, I'm like, I want another one. And my wife was like, do you remember? Do you? And I was like, but she's so cute. I feel like it's nature's way of just allowing us to continue to procreate. Just like, yeah, no. I had a traumatizing delivery with my son, but I did it again and it was beautiful with my daughter. So, you just, yeah, but no, I know people who have gone through, that, and it's just, terrible.
Yeah, going to the hospital, being on IV, like going to the ER
during COVID. That was like,
yeah, but that was like really crazy. That was early in the beginning before my doctor diagnosed it. And it was like, you're having, just like regular symptoms like round ligament pain on top of like throwing up a bunch, and there's no diagnosis. You're just like going to the ER. You're like, I don't know what else to do. What's happening.
Yeah. Right.
Like just crazy. So.
Oh my goodness.
But everything's a lot more smooth.
I feel like you had like a little sweet spot just for like a couple of weeks in trimester 2 where you weren't in that much like round ligament pain yet and you weren't nauseous. So you had a couple of weeks to enjoy pregnancy.
Right. Second trimester is usually pretty good. And then the end, you're just like, oh my God, I'm hurting. I'm tired. I'm done. Yeah. And you've got 2. So I'm sure it's
where I'm at right now.
Right. You're like, and done. Please stay. Please keep cooking. Yeah. But like, we are done here.
yes, you exactly know. I'm like, I wish this could be done. I'm like, but I don't. Just
I know. Exactly. It's hard. Yeah, keep cooking, but go faster. Totally. Do you know the sex, or are you waiting? You do?
Yeah, you do. You want to share it, or you want to keep it a secret?
You can share. I don't. Do you want to keep it a secret?
I don't know.
It's up to you. We're not too concerned about sex or anything. So I'm carrying a boy and girl.
And I'm carrying a boy.
Yeah.
It's so special. Oh my gosh.
I think we were just hoping for a mix.
Yeah.
A mix.
Yeah. So you have whatever. Yeah. Oh, that is so special. Oh my goodness. And how are you going to do birthdays? Like you'll have their own, the 2 will have theirs, and then we'll do another separate party for baby C.
We've been thinking about that a lot, actually. Yeah. And I actually have a friend who, like, I had totally forgotten, but she reached out when she saw our situation. That makes it sound like a bad thing. She saw kind of what our experience had been. And she actually is like a non-womb twin with her sister. Her mom got pregnant as they were trying with a surrogate. So her and her twin, one was from her mom and one was from a surrogate. And she was suggesting like having some sort of like day to celebrate like their triplet relationship, maybe in addition to the birthday. Mm-hmm. So that's something that we're thinking about, is like letting them all have their birthdays, but then also having some sort of celebration that's like you 3 as a unit kind of. So
that's so special.
Exactly. But I thought it was a really cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, they all have, I guess not the same conception day, if it was a day apart.
That's kind of what we were thinking.
We were thinking that we were like, they're going to be like,
when they're teenagers, they'll hate it. But
happy conception, right? Exactly. They're going to be like, wait, what?
Yeah, being in like kindergarten, walking around, being the like weird triplets, and like, oh, I have a conception day.
We were born on different days, but we were conceived on similar days.
Yeah.
So how is the donor playing a role in the family unit, if at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of really great conversations with him kind of as we were preparing, just to make sure we were all on the same page. And kind of like the vibe, I guess, is that he's really excited to answer any questions and kind of like follow the kids' leads and what they need from him, but is also very excited to not be a parent. So
Right. Totally.
yeah, so
it's kind of perfect for, I mean, at least to us.
Yeah, and he's someone that we know well, but like don't see all the time. So
Yeah.
It's kind of like the perfect amount of intimacy and distance. It's not like if they don't want to see him all the time, they won't really have to. But if they do want to like ask questions and like develop some sort of relationship, he's open to that.
The way that he described it was before we attempted or anything was, I want to have the same relationship with them as I would with any of my friends' kids.
Yeah.
So it's
really
like
nice.
so nice.
Yeah.
You're like perfect.
Yeah. We're really excited about that because I think even for us, as we were deciding like what would like the perfect relationship look like, and I think we kind of went back and forth between being like it'd be awesome to have it be someone who could be super involved, and then also just like the amount of communication and like really intentionality that takes to make that work is something to consider. So I feel like this is kind of perfect because they can ask questions, they can kind of have access to him without us all having to navigate all the time. Like, okay, all like what are our boundaries? How are we going to figure this out? Like
there were a couple of friends that we could have gone with that are very close to us that we've known for longer. And like, they're like kind of like brothers to us. And then, there are also reasons to not go with those
someone
folks.
that close.
Right. There's a lot to no, this is so beautiful. I love that. We used a donor from a bank, but purposely chose one that was open. But I'm always like, I hope we get to meet him one day and, thank him for this beautiful gift that he gave. And it's funny, this morning we were talking, my wife and I, and they're like, I wonder what his parents think about it. Of like, they've got these biological grandchildren out there. Like, do they know? I don't know. But I mean, that would be really cool. We always wonder if we were like, what if we just like saw him at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Not that he even lives around here. We don't even know where he lives. But we, just to, like it would be really cool to be able to ask questions and, just have him be involved in some way. But again, that's such a fine line to have to navigate. So that's incredible that you found something so perfect and
such a blessing. And it's funny that you bring up like grandparents too. Like every time I talk to my mom, she's like, have you spoken to him? And I'm like, no, we haven't spoken to him in quite a while. And she's like, please just call him and tell him I said thank you so much. I'm so happy. And I'm like, okay. But it is really cool to be able to like, have access just to express gratitude alone. I understand that.
I know. We were like, we're going to need to like buy him a house or something one day because it's just like, what is like the biggest gift that we can like buy this stranger for like, it's kind of like, you can't thank them enough. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have our family, it's crazy. It's so crazy to think about that. Will he come up when the babies are born?
We haven't
we haven't talked to him about what he wants to do yet. And I think he's still kind of like figuring out and navigating that part too.
Right.
But I mean, we're open to that. So for sure.
Our connection, like since we inseminated, we kind of like updated him when we found out we were pregnant. He was like, awesome. And then we updated him again. We found out that it was going to be 3.
And it was like, whoa.
It's funny. I remember when we were signing the notary, like signing our donor agreement at the notary, he was like, so like, what are you guys going to do? Like if you both get pregnant? And we were like, well, I guess then we'll have 2 babies. So
he was like, right on.
Surprise, there's 3.
He's really chill.
He's very chill. So we haven't sent him any pictures of the ultrasounds or anything. Like I think part of it is like recognizing, like when I'm imagining that being kind of an emotional experience to be a donor, especially that it's not for him, like it's somebody that he knows, like he might see the babies, like I think I'm just trying to kind of respect and let him kind of take the lead if
Go
there's
through
something
his-
that he wants,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but
just like recognizing that he's also going through his process, and
Yeah.
it's like we were ready to have kids, but also like every single day we were experiencing emotions that we didn't know we would, and
Yeah.
just imagine like he's also
going
having
through
that
his
too.
own.
Right. And when they're born, that he may see himself in them. And especially as they grow up, like that's
Yeah,
definitely going to be something that he has to navigate.
he definitely
but-
will.
Yeah.
He will see himself in them because he just has very intense qualities.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
tall, they're very lanky, like
Yeah.
they're gonna get something for sure.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, our kids, my son is my wife's twin, like literal copy paste, except my son has bleach blonde hair and she has dark hair. My daughter, like not at all. I thought she looked more like the donor, but is now looking more like my son. But it'll be interesting that because we only have 2 pictures of our donor, but you like know him and what he looks like and
Have a
possibly
bunch
different.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, to be able to see that. Yeah, that's so crazy. This is fascinating. I cannot wait until I guess April. Will be
Yeah.
you, and May, and then to just like we'll have to you'll have to do a little video that you record yourself, because I'm not going to make you sit down with 3 babies, but just to kind of hear how things are going and update us with all of that, because this is just so cool. So I just want to ask about, so I'm not familiar with at-home insemination. Did you talk to nurse or doctor, or did you just Google and you're like, we got this?
It's a mixture.
Yeah.
We were Googling a lot.
A lot of YouTube. There's like so many YouTube tutorials on all the different methods.
So
out
basically,
there.
yeah, we used YouTube a bunch for like the actual physical, like what do we do? We were doing Google a bunch for making sure that our like uteruses were like ready to have an embryo attached, implantation, all of that.
Yeah.
Make sure we're eating all the right things. And then we did talk to both of our doctors just to find out like what supplements would be helpful. And then went back to Google again to find out additional supplements. Honestly, we shouldn't have been surprised at all that we both got pregnant, because
We were on everything.
we did everything you could think of.
It was like a little overkill.
Yeah, we were taking a lot of different like natural supplements, and then also
Like eating in a very intentional way.
very intentional eating for basically the 2 weeks before and then the 3 weeks after insemination. We
spoke with a midwife because we were considering, before we knew for sure if we were going to use a known donor or if we were going to use sperm from a cryobank, the thought of like doing a home insemination with like $1,000 vial of sperm felt really scary and intimidating. So we had heard from another, like we went to kind of like a queer parenting group, and they had used a home midwife. So they had a midwife come to their home and do the intracervical insemination. So that was really helpful just to like kind of learn about that process, because I hadn't even like thought about the like possibility of having the support of like a medical practitioner, but within your own home, which kind of felt cool, especially with COVID and us not knowing like how long it would be to get an appointment and all that. So yeah, we ended up, just because we had a known donor, it was like, if it messes up, like we kind of have like unlimited access to it. So it didn't feel like quite as much pressure, but I think it was helpful to talk to the midwife, because then she even gave us some pointers about,
she gave us a lot of tips.
We're going to just inseminate at home, kind of like what to be thoughtful about and
what our tool options were, like syringe versus soft cup. We went with just the soft cup. It helped us. I think talking to the midwife and our doctors help us know how to better navigate our own research on the computer, basically.
You'll have to write us up a few tips for people. I know that it can be so cost prohibitive going to a fertility clinic, and I didn't even think about a home option. I was just like, oh, we're going to a clinic. That's like what our friends did. And, you know, but yeah, it's a lot of money. And thank goodness you didn't, because now you've got 3 to pay for. So
we're going to need all that money we saved.
On the first attempt too. Like, it's really crazy. It's bonkers.
Yeah, we really do feel so lucky. Just
we're blessed. We're really blessed.
You hear all the stories of people who have just been trying and so many attempts and so much money, and just like the emotional toll that it takes to, like, even just the 1-2 week wait that we had to do. I'm going to lose my mind. So
yeah, I know.
Imagine like that process of having to do that repeatedly. So we feel really lucky to get all 3 in 1.
3 in 1. Oh my gosh. Well, these babies are very blessed to have you guys. And so, oh my gosh. You're so welcome. I can't wait to meet them virtually, of course, but this was so cool. I'm like, wow, I just want to sit and chat with you guys forever. But I want to, be cognizant of your time and all of that. But I mean, is there anything else that you want to share, or?
I don't know. I mean, we're just excited, and I don't know. We've been really grateful for all the people we've been able to connect with, kind of through Instagram and just online. And maybe because I'm a middle school teacher, I have this idea of the internet being like kind of a nasty place, and it's been really cool.
It's been
just like
so beautiful,
how supportive people have been, and like connecting with there's another queer couple in the UK who both carried at the same time.
And they check in on us.
And they like check in on us all the time.
Like, they're not in our DMs just saying random things. Like, they come into the DM and they're like, hey, how are you girls doing? Like,
here's like we use these like shoe things to put our shoes on when we got too pregnant to bend over. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, really sweet.
It's a really, I mean, yeah, it can be a hateful place for sure. But I have to say, like, at least like the, LGBTQ plus community on Instagram is so supportive. And I didn't even know what reciprocal IVF was. Like, when my wife and I went to our fertility clinic, like, we were like, oh, we're going to do IUI, We started following some couples on Instagram and saw that this was a thing. And I was like, this is so cool. And through that, I've made friends that I've known for years now. And we've watched our children grow up, and I've met some in real life. And it's just like, it's beautiful. And that's kind of the intention with why I've created this business, to just allow a safe space, a place where people can connect and see other people's journeys and know that they're not alone in whatever it is they're going through, and that you can have an incredibly beautiful family if you're queer, and, or if you're transitioning, that there's someone out there that's been through that already, or if you consider yourself non-binary, that you can still get married and have children and be a parent. It's just, I think that the Instagram community has just really allowed so much for the queer community to just feel accepted.
Yeah, it really has. That's why we hopped on, to just to encourage others and to like find that connection. And we found it with your invitation to do this interview. Like, I don't know, finding it just left and right every day, every week. It's really such a special thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's also just exciting to think about all the resources that you're going to be opening up for people in a way that feels, because, it's kind of intimidating to do research on your own and be like on YouTube, because, we're taught like that's not a reliable source, so
totally. It's totally cool.
I mean, it worked. It was fine. I think having kind of these more like legitimate sources for information and for community, and I don't know, I think that's huge. It's really something that I'm excited people are going to have. I would have loved to take advantage of something like that.
Right. I mean, couples may now be deterred from getting inseminated at the same time.
Yeah. But I think that is very reasonable.
Or from following along, they're like, great, we're going to bang it out. We're going to have triplets, and then we're going to be Oh, no, but thank you guys so much for chatting. This was so cool. And I know that people are going to find it so interesting and informative. And then I'll connect with you if you want to share just some tips and resources that we can put on the blog for doing at-home insemination. Any little things that you found were helpful, or, anything like that, just that people can kind of, check on.
We're open books. We're very happy to share anything that we've learned, any resources that we found, and to answer questions. And that's what we've been doing on our page too. So
I love it.
Yeah, whatever.
Awesome. And 3 buns, 2 ovens. I'll put it there so that everyone can follow along and see these beautiful children. And I cannot wait to follow along with the rest of the journey. And I hope that, it goes smoothly and quick labors and deliveries, and you're in and out and home with all your babies. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you so much. It was really great speaking with you.
Thanks.
Take care.